Goals this month to keep myself writing, but also to learn more about the craft of writing. The first goal that I want to accomplish is that I want to learn and understand what it takes to take a first draft to a second draft and kind of create a list that makes it easier for me to go through that process, because a first draft feels like a very daunting thing to work on, since there are so many things you have to take into consideration. And so if I can create a list that kind of shows me what needs to be done, it will make it so much smoother and easier for myself to tackle it. If you've seen my latest video, you'll know that I finished my first ever manuscript. It felt like such a huge accomplishment, which it is. But if you're new here, my name is Anna-Sophie and I've written the first book of a fantasy trilogy I'm currently working on, and I hope it will be my debut novel, but we'll see. It takes place in the land of Djazar, and in this story we'll follow three characters whose fates intertwine as they uncover secrets at the academy, as well as learn that there are some dark forces brewing in the south of their land. There are different types of magic in this story, including rituals and mysterious disappearances. There's even a little bit of romance. So basically, I thought this was like the best moment to learn about what kind of edits come after finishing a first draft. What do you need to know and what do you need to do to make it even more of a cohesive story and like a better book that people actually want to read? The second goal that I want to be working on is that I want to have a creative habit or routine that sparks my imagination, that keeps me writing, but is also easy to do. So for example, if one day I don't have that much time but I still have like 5 or 10 minutes, I could do it and it would help me keep this momentum alive, because I feel like sometimes you don't have enough time to actually sit down and write chapters or scenes or like work on the plot or brainstorm ideas. I feel like you kind of lose the speed with which you are writing, and so if I can establish a sort of routine that keeps me reimagining things in a fantasy setting, and that keeps me kind of moving and learning more about the ways that you can write, I hope to kind of lessen the burden once I start writing again for chapters or scenes. Then that is connected to my third goal, which is I think the most important one. And that's that I must not touch or read my first manuscript. Like, I cannot see anything from it. I cannot do anything with it. That is for 3 to 4 weeks. I might think that's not that long, right? It's like, what, 1 month compared to 1.5 years of plotting, outlining, brainstorming, writing scenes. I can do that, right? I cannot. It's so hard not to write once you've started. It doesn't help that when I wrote the last scene, I made a list of everything that I could think of that still needed improvement in my story. And it's kind of like a brain dump, and then just with bullet points. It's not organized at all. It's just like anything that just came to my mind was like, put it down, and put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down. I'll give you some examples. If a character doesn't meet the standard of where I wanted them to be in their character arc, that goes on the list. If I feel like certain scenes are not descriptive enough, there's not that much about the world itself, or I only included one of the senses, that goes on the list. If I feel like a certain scene needs to be rewritten, I put it on the list. Because I did that, I just knew that there were so many things that I still needed to work on, things that I needed to be implementing into the story, things that I needed to add to make it like more cohesive, to have them have like all the things that needed to be there, and it didn't have that yet. So my hands were itching to work on that project and to like immediately dive back into the story, go to the start and like start rewriting the scenes and make sure that the things that I added later on in the chapters were in the beginning as well, and that there are like these little spoilers of like where the story is gonna go, because now I know how to like get there. But then I couldn't. I wasn't allowed to because I needed a break for like 3 to 4 weeks. What do you do then? What do you do when you cannot write the project that you've been working on for 1.5 years? Like, I literally spent hours upon hours every week writing and thinking about this story, about these characters, about their world, and now I just can't. Like, I can't work on it. I can't do anything with it. I needed something else. I needed something else that I could create and write and just think about. Let me introduce you to my new novel idea, the project, The Dream Wafer of Sola. I'm not yet sure where the story will go to and what will actually happen, whose story we're gonna follow, but I do know that it is a dystopian novel and that it will have magical elements in it, and I'm so excited to start working on it this week with you and explore what it has to offer, if it could be a novel or a novella, if it's only a short story, or if I have enough ideas to kind of make it like a theme and something that can be broadened into a novel. So if you are interested in knowing more about world building or character development and you want to see me tackle it hands-on, or if you're just excited to see and understand more about this idea that I came up with, stick around and let's discover together where this is gonna go.